Hi guys, my name is Mike, and in this video I'm going to show you my starting routes for Grand Bazaar on the defensive end. And I'm going to start with the A spawn, and this spot in particular, this is the closest spawn point for A. So if you happen to spawn there, you have to go for A. If you don't, nobody else will. And what you need to know is that you will always get to this spot right here before attackers do. So come around the corner firing, pre-fire this corner, and you've got a reasonable chance of surviving. If you just turn this corner, looking, you probably get shot by an RPG or something like that. So be aggressive, come around this corner firing, and after you've dealt with the attackers, what you want to do is you want to push forward. You don't want to stay around the A area because you're allowing the attackers too much room. You want to push forward to this spot right here and push them back. You can't allow them to get to A. And if you look at the mini-map, I'm the only person here, which is what happens 90% of the time if I'm not playing with teammates. Normally I would have said game over once you reach this spot here, but only if you do so with capable teammates. So let's take a look at another example. This time, if you don't feel comfortable coming around the corner shooting, what you can do is just do it the smart way and catch attackers off guard here. You see them at the bottom of the stairs, except for the one guy who came here a bit faster. But normally you'll find people at the bottom of the stairs there from that particular spawn point. So again, the plan is the same. You want to push forward. I'm on my own, so I'm taking my time, just making sure that there's nobody in the street looking at the traffic areas there, and I want to push as forward as I can. Again, if you look at the minimap, I'm the only person, and this is my grief with Grand Bazaar and playing with people I don't know. Everybody's rushing for B. People enjoy lobbing grenades to each other, RPGs, stuff like that, and they don't think how easy it is to finish the game if you reach this spot right there. One more example before I show you something else. One more example of the same situation. I drop a grenade just to make sure that nobody's coming. You'll hear voices, you'll hear people shouting grenade. It's a good warning sign. It's a way of stopping attackers moving in closely. And then same plan all over again. I'm going to show you here in a bit what I mean by checking the high traffic areas and checking the street. You want to make sure that nobody's coming before you start running towards the enemy spawn. And here are the areas that I usually check. It's that room on the left of the truck. It's a spawn point on behind the bus there, and the two arrows on the two crosses on the right, right on that wall. This wall there is very popular with snipers. So when you're trying to push forward, just what I usually do is I look from left to right and check all these spots before moving forward. And once you've reached this spot, you can just stay here for the entire game if you like, and just pick people off coming off the spawn, or you can flank around. This is what I usually do. I just flank around and catch people in their sleep. They don't expect you to come this way because it's out of bounds for a few feet. People don't even know you can actually run out of bounds and then back in bounds. So they're not expecting you to come this way. Most of the time there's no claymores, there's no motion sensors. People just have their back turned, so you can easily take out an entire team just by rushing like this. And this is why my favorite setup is the AN94 and MAS M26 attachment, the undersling. Well, I don't use it as an undersling, as a standalone weapon, but you see how much damage you can do with a M26. And I've just chosen clips from different games to show you that it's not a one-off. This is what I do every time I play Grand Bazaar. Try to flank people here. This time I think it's a dart, and I can't tell you if the M26 MAS or dart is better. Both are equally good in my opinion. But let's take a look at an alternative route from that spawn point. I don't suggest you do this, but if you want to go for B, okay, go ahead. You'll reach behind this dumpster here before the attackers do. So if you have an LMG like an M60 or the PKP and stuff like that, you can do some serious damage and stop them, but eventually you will get RPG'd in the face and die. So it's not a very good idea. You'll see later how you can deal with the attackers from B. So let's take a look at a further spawn point for A. This is far away from A. You will never get on A before the attackers do. So what I usually do is I take cover behind this wall here and just help my teammates who are rushing for A by covering them. You see here in a second, this wall here provides perfect cover, and most of the time people running out towards A, they just rush out blindly trying to plant the MCOM. They don't even look to the right, they're just happy that they're gonna get a plant. So most of the times you can just take them out and go for the defuse like I do here. And if you do spawn that far behind, going for A is just it's just suicide. I mean, you're gonna die 100% of the time. Let's look at another example here and see how my opening routes evolved during time. So lately what I've been doing is I'm throwing a grenade through those two columns there, trying to slow attackers down. Most of the time I'll catch a guy or two, so I'll get a couple of kills as well, but my main aim is not to get a kill but to slow them down, especially if I see that no other teammate is going for A and I'm all alone. So once I've made sure that there's nobody coming down that corridor, I do exactly the same thing. I move forward, you know, check the street and move to my spot right here and make sure that people are not rushing the AMCOM. And again, you can either stay here and try to outsnipe a sniper like I'm doing here by clipping this piece of rock, or you can just flank around and get the guys who are attacking B. And that's why I'm using the AN94. I think it's a perfect gun for situations like this. Right, so let's take a look at another example. Again, a bad spawn, and you see here what the nades do that I throw in front of me. So throwing a nade there between the two columns. I don't get a kill this time. I see my teammate get killed, so I know there's people there. And throw the second one just to make sure that nobody's running through that corridor. And what you want to do here is you want to flank them. So most of the time you'll catch people. I thought I saw a ghost there. Most of the time you'll see people just looking at the corridor there, not knowing that there's actually a way of flanking. People just don't expect you to do things that are complicated in their mind. So moving on to the B spawn, this is, in my opinion, the only thing you can do if you spawn here. This is what I do at least every time. Just take cover behind this piece of concrete here and make sure that nobody goes through while I'm there. And always wait for reinforcements. And you see why I do this. I mean, it's so difficult to turn the corner and this corner right here and get anything positive. So I think it's a much more better idea to slow them down, try and make sure that people don't get into B while you're there. And usually, the best weapon to do that with is obviously an LMG, because you know that you got enough firepower to stop 2 or 3 people. And I'm going to show you what happens if you do turn the corner. And this is not something that I've done once or twice. I've tried this dozens of times, and I'll tell you, it doesn't work. If you just turn the corner here on the left, you're going to be destroyed instantly. It's going to be 10 to 12 people around there with RPGs, shotguns, USAs, stuff like that. So no matter what weapon you have, I suggest you just stay behind that box there and wait for reinforcements, wait for your teammates to come help you out. And right, that was it, guys. I'm gonna run another video with the attacking routes, so stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed it and find it useful. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.